Are you looking for a documentary this weekend on Netflix that's not going to challenge you, will keep your blood pressure low, and won't make you upset by the end? Well then, that's not Netflix's Our Father, a new documentary that's out this weekend. Yeah, let's talk about it. What's going on, everyone? James here with another real review, and yes, today we're getting into Netflix's latest documentary, Our Father, that releases on Netflix May 11th. So guys, when you see it, let me know down below in the comments what you thought of it, because there's so much to talk about. This is a documentary that I was really interested in after I saw the trailer, and it is based on a true story that happened. Yes, you can look up the news articles about it, but y'all, it got my blood pressure sky high. Oh my gosh. It's directed by Lucie, Jourdan, and yes, it's a Blumhouse production, which actually surprised me. Now, again, if you don't know much about the story, it's a true story of a fertility doctor who used his own sperm to impregnate women in an Indiana town, and the investigation by the siblings that followed. Now guys, I had no idea about this story before watching, and I could not believe all of the details that followed. But before we get into my review and I tell you what worked and what didn't work too well, if it is your first time here at the channel, welcome to Real James, where I love talking about movies and TV just like this. So if you do too, go ahead and hit the big red button below, subscribe to the channel, and tap on that bell. And guys, hit the thumbs up button if you are a fan of Netflix documentaries like this, because y'all, if there's one thing Netflix is going to do, it's going to produce documentaries that are going to get us talking. And again, get loud down below in the comments when you see this, and let me know which moment shocked you the most. So guys, let's get into my positives here and talk about why I think this documentary is as gripping as it is. It's not just that the true story is incredibly compelling and also very unsettling, but it's the entire production of this documentary. Blumhouse Productions did an amazing job at recreating some of the very true stories and recounting of different events that would help break up the documentary and not make it feel very monotonous. All of the recreated scenes were just very well shot, honestly, and very well acted by all of the paid actors that were within those scenes. And they did use some real audio, so in and out of these stories that these interviewees are telling, these victims are telling, it just really grabbed my attention. And the score itself was also building atmosphere from the very beginning. I mean, I was literally shaking in my seat at some points. It felt like a horror movie, guys. I'm not even lying. And yes, the events are horrific. They do begin with the very first sibling. It's a sibling number 1 with Jacoba, who becomes a central figure here, and she is so brave, and so are all the victims that came forward to tell their story. But I cannot believe exactly what happened here with this fertility doctor, Dr. Donald Klein, a criminal, a gross individual. And guys, it's hard when you're watching a documentary about this sort of subject matter to stay unbiased, but the man is disgusting. And I also liked how well paced this documentary was. It was filmed very much like a movie, so it had some pretty consistent story beats, and the way they were flowing in and out of the different narratives, it made sense. And there was also lots of room for these jaw-dropping and awe-inspired moments, and I don't mean that positively, of course. Once the sibling count continues to go up and up and up, it just made me say, oh my gosh, out loud. And I meant it genuinely. It is just one of those documentaries that will make you feel like you're beside yourself with everything that you're seeing. And of course, after a while, you're able to understand exactly where this documentary is going, but the way that this is directed, it just saves some of those surprises at the very end. So you think you know the documentary is about to wrap up, and boom, another surprising moment happens. And the way that this documentary actually frames the stories, it makes a lot of sense, because what they're doing from start to finish is making you feel how vile Dr. Klein is. And yeah, it's very effective. And then eventually, when that sibling count continues to go up and up and up, I mean, this is something that you're gonna want to talk to someone about. So yes, this documentary is incredibly compelling, but also will spark conversation, even if you know about the true story. Now, this is not a perfect documentary, but I do think it comes down to the fact that, one, it's not very rewatchable. So yes, the negative here is that the subject matter is triggering, and it will be for many people. I know for me, I was really squeamish in some moments, so I'm not going to revisit this documentary again, but it is definitely worth a watch. And y'all, that's the only negative that I have here, because this documentary is just really darn good. So overall, Netflix's Our Father, I think, is a hit. For all those who love documentaries, it has a lot of those elements here at play, and those who love movies and storytelling from cinema, it has that too, with all of the scenes that are recreated in between the real true stories that are being told by these victims. So yes, this is a very, very well put together documentary, and it is evident that the budget was decent here for this as well. But kudos to the team behind this, and yeah, I think this is gonna spark up conversation once again surrounding this topic. So there you have it, guys. That's my real review of Netflix's Our Father. And speaking of conversation, go ahead and get loud down below in the comments and let me know exactly what you thought of this documentary. And hey, if you haven't already, go ahead and hit the big red button below, subscribe to the channel for more reviews just like this. If I had to rate this documentary, guys, I give it like a strong 4 out of 5. I mean, it is very well done once again. So kudos to the team over at Netflix for making my blood pressure rise and the sweat come down from my forehead because I was so upset and I need to drink of water. So again, thanks so much for watching, you guys, and I'll catch you at the next screening. I'm so mad.